So dating multiple women, your main concern is, first of all, thinking that women aren't interested in sex, and what they are interested in is this monogamy, is having a boyfriend, and so you think in order to get sex from this person who doesn't want it and also shouldn't do it, you have to figure out how to get that. So you're either using like chivalrous courtship. You're using courtship, and it's going to either be chivalry or seduction. Chivalry is paying for dinners, being the nice guy, doing everything for her. Just trying to present yourself as this gentleman or this white knight, which is bullshit. You're not a knight. You're a dude, like everyone else. And you're not really that nice, because as soon as you start sleeping with this woman, you're not going to pay for dinner as much, right? If at all. But also, and then on the flip side, you're going to have seduction, which is trying to get out without doing all that work, without spending money. But that is going to require a lot of deception. They're both using deception, but that's going to require a lot of deception, a lot of mental strategy, a lot of thinking. And also, if you're not already good with women, you don't have that natural awareness of women, it's going to require, pretty rough learning curve to get there. And that's where you see the pickup artist stuff, is just guys just approaching, posting on forums, trying to figure this out. And a lot of times it's just the blind leading the blind. So your first challenge with dating multiple women is simply not understanding female sexuality, or not even realizing it's there, and thinking that what you want is different than what she wants. Your second problem is going to be fear of hurting other people, fear of offending other people. When you see how the first problem leads to the second one, if you fix the first one, the second one kind of goes away. Because, first of all, the fear of hurting her comes from, you want sex, but you don't want to just use her. You don't want to feel like a sleazeball manipulator. So you want sex, but you sort of feel like you kind of have to hurt this woman in order to get it, because you're going to fuck her and then you're not going to talk to her anymore, because you don't want a relationship. So you got to disappear now. You got to run away. You got to skip town. And what that means really is just like, you don't text her anymore or whatever. But when you understand that women do like sex, they're open to casual. I say casual sex, but I don't mean like, there's no connection. We're just doing the physical act. But I mean sex outside of monogamy. Women are open to that. They've always been open to that. They just have some other stuff going on that men don't have, that leads to this pedestal illusion, that leads to this, they're wired in a way for a lot of different reasons, but their brains are wired to kind of enjoy the process of the sexual connection rather than just getting right to it. Sometimes they do want to get right to it. Again, that's gonna vary from woman to woman, where she's at in her menstrual cycle, whether she's had good sex, she's used to having orgasms during sex, etc. So you're gonna have I would say that for a lot of women, especially now, and again, I keep bringing this back, changing. I would say especially now, any woman you sleep with, or you're talking to and you want to sleep with her, there's a good chance she's already fucking another guy, or more. Or she could if she wanted to. She has guys in her phone that if she said, hey, you want to hang out tonight, he'd be like, yeah, hell yeah. So while you're over here worried about, oh man, I gotta sleep with this girl, but I don't really want a relationship, so I'm either gonna have to hurt her or I'm gonna have to compromise and get in a relationship with her. Meanwhile, she very well might be fucking another guy, and is cool with playing the field until you find the person that's right for you, until you find that emotional chemistry, that sexual chemistry. That's another thing. Women understand sexual chemistry, but I don't think a lot of guys really think too much about it. Guys, I think, tend to think about sex on a mechanical level. I'm not talking about typically my students. I mean, if you're, if you're coming to me, you're thinking about sex on a deeper level. You want that sexual chemistry, but I think a lot of guys are just trying to get laid. The extent it goes to is, you want to stick your dick in a wet hole. That's it. For me, and I think a lot of guys, but pretty much all women want and appreciate sexual chemistry. And what that means, maybe you have the same turn-ons, maybe your bodies just feel like they fit, they just feel good together. Pheromones is probably a huge part of it, although that's going to be below your consciousness. A sex drive, if it's not compatible, different things like that. And obviously, you like each other's bodies. And so sexual chemistry you feel it. I could make a list of like things that comprise it. But my point is that for women, sexual chemistry is really important. And for men, it's less important. It's important. For less men, it's important. And what that means, you got to think, how do you know if you have sexual chemistry? You got to have sex, or at least get naked together and mess around. So women value sexual chemistry. And in order to have sexual chemistry, or in order to find out if you have sexual chemistry, you have to get sexual. So, and that might not necessarily mean actual penetration, but you're playing together, your bodies are you're getting physically intimate. So you can see the next logical step. Women are open to sleeping with a guy outside of a relationship to find out if there's sexual chemistry. So, and it's just, if you want proof of this, just look up, go on Google and type in how to date multiple men. And then you'll see articles written for women about how to date multiple men and talking about sexual chemistry and sleeping with the guy, early on, not waiting until the 10th date, finding out if you have chemistry. I did this. I'm reading the articles. It's talking about, do you like his dick? Does she actually like your cock? Does she like how you fuck? Does she like how you kiss? Does she, finding this stuff out for a woman it's always been a desire for women, the primal woman, but now they're actually able to act on it because they don't have to worry about being virtuous or keeping their value in order to get resources from men. Okay? Like I said, the only challenge you're going to have, or the only difficulty you're going to have here, let's say, the only time it's going to get messy is when the woman is afraid of you abandoning her. Everyone's afraid of that. Guys too, just like I gave the example of Steve with the Xbox. And so everyone's afraid of that. But for women, there's also that biological component, that biological fear of, okay, if this guy basically ejaculates inside, for the woman, there's a biological wiring there. If this guy ejaculates inside of me, I hope he sticks around because holy shit, like I'm coming. You also have to consider the amount of risk that a woman's during sex. The woman is investing more. There's more. She's potentially investing more. Let me say it like that. She's potentially investing more. All right. And so obviously every investment is a risk. So there's this potential negative or con, like a negative consequence to having sex. And yet women still have sex. They have been doing it since forever, right? So what that means is this potential risk has to actually be outweighed by an extreme desire. I mean, you really have to want to do something that could have those negative consequences. And of course, we use condoms and stuff, but our bodies don't know that. So you're going to run into this issue of her being afraid of being abandoned. Even, let's say she's fucking other guys too. She still doesn't want to be abandoned if she likes you. No one likes that. But also, on the physical level, when things are heating up, she's going to have that fear that men don't have. There's no reason for you to not fuck her. For her, there is a reason to not fuck you. And it's that you will abandon her if she gets pregnant. So here's sort of my conclusion on all this. You don't have to abandon women. You don't have to plan on abandoning women. If it's not working out, if the chemistry is just not there, maybe you have sex a couple times, you hang out a few times, and you're just feeling like, yeah, she's cool, she's attractive, I don't feel that connection, I don't feel that chemistry enough to where I really want to pursue this and spend more time on it. I would rather take that energy, that time, that Friday night, and meet new women. Because as men, we like variety, and that's okay. One of my biggest turn-ons is just that the girl is a new girl. That's a good thing. We're sort of taught that that's bad, right? But that's why human beings are here. Without sort of a variety of sexual partners, a variety of, let's say, combinations of DNA, the human race would be very weak. I mean, you can see this in farming. If you don't have, if like a seed gets too homogeneous, it risks, basically you risk having a bad crop because parasites can attack that specific seed, and there's no variety. Okay, so there's no mutations going on. So for the human race, mixing it up is why we're still here. And just wanting to fuck people is why we're still here. So, you wanting to fuck different women is fine. And like I said, women like to experience different men too. I mean, I hear it all the time, women talking about new dick, right? So we've always heard guys talking new pussy. Women are using the term new dick now. I mean, they're cool with it. They're feeling more comfortable. When I say they're cool with it, they're feeling more comfortable with their true desires, which has always been there. There's biological proof of this. The way sperm operates, it's basically, it's evolved to beat out competition. So you literally have like sperm they're designed to block other sperm, the sperm that are like warrior sperm, and then you have the actual like very small percentage in the whole load or whatever that actually are there to like go into the egg. So it's almost like you have this army that's like segmented with different types of, tasks, different roles. And if you look at it, and there's a book called Sperm Wars that talks about this. Why would sperm need to be designed or evolve to be good at getting rid of other sperm? Because another guy just had sex with that woman. Okay, so there's just evidence right there. And what you can take it a step further, looking at natural selection, which when we talk about evolution, we tend to think about like just animals morphing into other animals, but what you really want to think about is mutation and natural selection. And when you think about natural selection, if let's say there was a mutation for like warrior sperm, soldier sperm, they get rid of the other sperm, and then that allows the striker sperm to the sniper sperm to get in the egg, right? if that sperm army, let's say, made it to the made a baby, and then that baby has that sperm army. Okay, it's a male baby, let's say. Well, what happened there is that this female got fucked by one guy, and this other guy wanted to fuck her too. He did not want to fuck her because she got fucked by that other guy. She still got pregnant, even though she was getting fucked by other guys. Women that were fucking multiple guys were having, I should use the biological term, women that were having sex with different men, different males. Obviously, this is, probably stuff that happened way back before we were Homo sapiens sapiens. But, those women passed on their genes. They reproduced. And the men that still wanted to have sex with that female, or the males that still wanted to have sex with that female, were males that didn't really have a problem with this other male or multiple males having had sex with her. So, or maybe they did, and that's why they kind of went after it. Maybe that it triggers like some competition.